Hello, everybody. How are you? Thank you. I'm sorry I needed a little extra time. It is countdown to my son and my grandson's visit. So I have been so busy trying to get, it's always tricky balancing getting the house clean, getting the yard straight. And it's hard because I only have energy to do one, but you have to do two. But I'm just so excited. I've been telling myself, don't wear myself out too much because then I'll be so tired that I'm having trouble getting the camera. I don't want to be so tired that I don't enjoy every moment of the fun. So I have came down here. I was trying to get the quilts put together enough. I've still got 2 rows. I've got to put sashing down that row, and then I'll have the whole quilt put together. So you'll have to excuse me for not having more done because I've been so busy trying to get everything ready. I got my vegetable garden put in. It's just a small garden, but I planted squash, zucchini, lima beans, string beans, zinnia flowers. I even put some okra plants in. We'll see how it goes. And tomatoes. So I'm excited. Hopefully it's a small garden, maybe 10 by 15. But that way I can start small, see how I do. It's something that gets me outside, exercising, all of that stuff. So, oh, that's fine. You're working on your blocks. And then you've got our Mary who has already, she's quilting hers. So, and I'm somewhere in the middle. But I do love that quilt. I love sampler quilts. There's just something, you can focus on a different block a day and be mesmerized by it. So I really do like that. And as soon as I finish getting the rows fully done and it's fully sashed, then I'm going to cut my border and put it on. And then I get to quilt it. And that's always the really fun part. Although I was telling someone the other day, who was it that I wish I could bind their quilt for them. I love to bind a quilt. Now, what I mean is the hand part. You have to sew the first part on by machine, and that's a little hard. But I love the hand part of binding. This necklace is hanging way down, so hold on just a second. I love elastic threads or elastic string to make my necklaces. The only problem is this is a heavy one because it's all buttons. It's just a really neat. I got it from Joann, the button bag from Joann Fabrics. The colors were the ones that were in the bag. And I just strung them on a piece of elastic, but the elastic stretches. So I just need to shorten it. But when you have a big head like mine, it's nice to have elastic so you just pull the necklace on. With the arthritis in my fingers, I hate those tiny little clasps. I can't use them anymore. So anyway, all right. So yesterday I worked all out in the yard. This morning I started deep cleaning the sunroom. Because when you have a 3 and 4-year-old, almost 3, and a 4-year-old in the house, you've got to start looking. When you're Mark and my age, you don't look too deeply, especially because I got better things to do than clean the house, right? I mean, please. And then when I take the time and look in the corners and stuff, that's like, oops, okay, I've got to do a little better cleaning. Yesterday, I put Kiwi in the cage with Finn, with our Finny, who is the cockatiel. So I had a green sheet conure in with a cockatiel. And since they've gotten to know each other so well, it worked for a while. But both of them were like, when I put Kiwi in the cage, she was like, wait a minute, why do you have me over here? What are you doing? So I thought that was so cute. But I took her cage outside and hosed it down. It needed a thorough cleaning. And that's the nice part. The weather gets warm and you can take it out, clean it, let it dry, bring it back in, start fresh. So it's those kind of things that I'm doing, plus trying to get the yard shaped. I did take a little video for you of the yard so you can see the good and the bad and the kind of ugly. And the evidence of what the deer, because, we had a deer give birth in the yard. Now she and her yearlings and a couple friends have decided this is the place to be. And we have easily 6 deer in the yard at a time. So I'm hoping the baby, I haven't seen the baby, which is good because they do keep them hidden. One day I saw it walking down the street and I got really nervous. So I'm hoping that it's okay. And it was just it decided it needed to follow them. But I feel like putting a deer crossing sign out because, like, careful baby deer in residence. There we go. So anyway, interesting happenings in Russia yesterday. And but the temperature's hot here. And I happened to see, when I gave y'all a little warning notice that I was going to be a couple minutes late, I happened to see Robin having some smoke warnings and having to stay in the house. I've got some pictures from Robin and I can't wait to show you. Wonderful family. And I love that. I'm all about family and loving each other, taking good care of each other. And they seem to have that family stuff down pat. So that's really nice. And I can't wait to show you that. And let's see all who's here first. So this is, dirty glasses. So anyway, I've done some house cleaning. Oh, while I'm cleaning my glasses, besides doing, I'm steam cleaning rugs and everything. And I got to tell you, especially with this sciatica, it's painful to do all this cleaning. I've decided this morning, the next time I get ready for company, I'm going to hire a house cleaning service. It's too much. When you have 3 dogs, you got to clean all the time. So, okay. Oh, is Svetlana here? I hope so. I was hoping. I've still. Oh, thank you, Diana B. She commented on the cult. Diana B is here. Oh, remember her accident I told you about Thursday? I have been so worried about them. Well, let me go see all who's here because I think I'm missing it. So, Marcia, first person here. Our Jody got some new quilt pictures from Miss Jody. And also, you heard the news that she had a perfectly normal mammogram. Isn't that amazing? So what a difference a year and a half makes, huh, Jody? We are so proud of her. I think she's one of the bravest people I've ever met. And then BB is here. Hi, BB. And Robin, like I told you, we got to be real careful with our Robin with that weather. So, no new fires, just burning more land, but it's still 3 to 4 hours away from us. Thank goodness. But unfortunately, oh my goodness, that smoke goes so far away. So it carries. And Debbie's here. Polly's here. Polly will tell you it's hot outside. And you expect it to be hot in June. We've just had a cool spring. So it's kind of like a shock to the system. So I stepped out and thought, oh my gosh, step right back in. So, Diana B., it's so good to see you. She went traveling. She went to see a World War II Veterans Museum, I think. Flew her father in for this visit they had, and then their car got hit by some teenage girls who weren't. One of them had an was driving on a revoked license. They were wild. And unfortunately, Our Diana got whiplash, and her father had a broken rib and some whiplash, and she's having to do therapy. So we are glad to see her back. So glad. So, oh, Robin, I wish yes, we would send you. We've had a week of rain. We'll send you some rain. Meltem is here. Oh, that's wonderful. Hi, Meltem. So, oh gosh, it is so good. I'm just looking at all these names, people chatting. I love you chatting. I love it. Um, And then we have to think of, don't forget our Diana, the other Diana. I think she's getting over her surgery she had in May. Then Melanie's going to have there's Miss Melanie. She's going to have a new shoulder put in soon. And the good thing, Melanie, is the woman, she showed me her incision and it wasn't big. It was like, wow. So I think you're going to be so happy you're having it done, Miss Melanie. Barbara Smith is here. It's so good to see you, Barbara Smith. I get so excited when I haven't noticed a name in a while and I see a name. All right, Robin, I got her. Let me see. So Euphoria is here again. Hello, hon. Mitty's here. Yay, Mitty. Alberta's here from Alabama. How are you doing in Alabama, Miss Alberta? And Debbie, this is so good. Whoops. It's so good. Then Lisa is here. Yay, Lisa. Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you, anything elastic just makes life easier, doesn't it? Use Bobex to keep the deer from eating your plants. Yeah. I mean, you would think with all the woods around here, that there's plenty out there for them, but they go for the good stuff. They wait till you see the picture of my Indian hawthorn. They've denuded it. They love eating all my hostas. I told you about the one I saw it out here. I had 2.5 foot tall tomatoes out there. Gone. I didn't think they would eat tomatoes. I thought the leaves were kind of poisonous, but ate them off, just shoot them off. So I saw her munching on one of my spike plants that I'd planted in a pot, went to the door and said, "Get out of my plant." She lifted her head up, which pulled the spike out of the pot, and she ran off with it. I tell you what, I wanted to chase her down. But then I thought, we have a lot of neighbors that walk around this lake across the street. I'm not sure what they would think of me chasing a deer with a bedding plant in its mouth. So I didn't chase it. Probably I couldn't have chased it very effectively anyway. But we have a big ravine right beside us, and that's how they travel most of the time. And they come out and eat until about noon. They have no fear right now. My chipmunks have no fear. My squirrels have no fear. This place is like a Disney movie from the 40s. I mean, rabbits, they're taking over. They are taking over. So anyway, but thank you, Bobex. I will look into that because I asked Mark if he could go around to some of my best flower beds and kind of mark it. Can you mark that territory, Mark? And he's not real gung-ho about going out in the front yard and marking things. So I'll try the Bobex. Okay, let's see here. My son will be here by tomorrow night, and I still have a ton of cleaning to do. Oh, and we are hoping, Melanie, did your husband think about doing the class with us? I think it would be so funny, or not funny, fun for him to be here and represent y'all. And since he's such an amazing quilter, so we're hoping. Okay, so now let's see. Yeah, isn't it amazing how you go in the hospital to have something done and you come home so soon? But the studies say you heal so much better at home, especially if you don't have people waking you up every couple hours. So Oh, it's so good to see all of you. Oh, pacemaker placement scheduled for the 28th. Very good. Good, Barbara. Okay, we'll be thinking of you, sweetie. Now, is it June 28th or July 28th? So, anyway. Okay. Oh, it's so good seeing everybody. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, let me tell you, with my last surgery to remove that kidney, it's like 14 inches right up the middle. And then when you start adding up all the C-section scars and the gallbladder, the original gallbladder scar, and the appendectomy and the tubal ligation, I said, do you want to just put a zipper in? I mean, made sense to me. So, Becca, hi, sweetie. A turkey. She's got us beat. We have a red-shouldered hawk. We don't have a turkey. We need to get a wild turkey. We had a beaver, but they had to rehome him. He killed all the trees around the holding pond across the street. So, oh gosh, this is funny. It is so good to see all of you. June 28th. Okay, everybody, we need to start a calendar. This is what we do at this age. But put down, yeah, just give me a zipper. That way, go in and do what you have to do. So, but let's remember June 28th, Barbara Smith, be thinking of her while she gets her pacemaker. And she's going to feel so much better with that pacemaker. And I think it should help, cut down on chances of stroke and all of that. So good job. And then Melanie will be July 10th. We're going to think of her. Also, this coming up Monday. Now, our Michelle is having a few things done, and she's going to have a busy and maybe a little tough couple of months, but by Christmas, she's going to be feeling so much better. So be thinking about our Michelle. And Jody and I, who would have ever thought I'd say, Jody's so lucky, but she is. Jody and I both went and had our cancer screening, and we both got good reports. So I'm very happy. The only one thing is my kidney value was down a little bit because I forget to drink. So I'm thinking about getting a watch with a alarm on it, so it'll go off every hour. And have you had a glass of water yet? So I am working on that. So anyway, oh yeah, your health with a pacemaker, your health improves so much. So that is wonderful. Oh, Lisa, your kidney function is down too. I forget. Yesterday I went out and worked in the yard and I hadn't had anything to drink for hours. And it was like, Deb, I just forget. I fast until sometime in the afternoon. And when I fast, I don't get thirsty, but I have to make myself drink. So I'm doing better today, but every day I've got to remind myself. And if I keep pushing, it'll be good. All righty. So now I've shown you the progress on the Nod quilt. I'm really, really tickled with it. And I will have a couple more Nod blocks made, but not for like 2 weeks because I am overwhelmed right now. So I wanted to show you, I told you I was going to get in some silver puffy paint. And these are beads that I made. Let me put them in my hand. These are beads that I made out of the inside of envelopes, the safety paper. And one of these, and the reason I like puffy paint to dip the ends into is because it does such a good job. One of these is even better than the rest, and I think it's this one. But you dip the end I trim up the bead and you dip it because I've been trying to figure out how do I finish off inside the beads. I tried for a while taking a matching marker and coloring in there. That's a pain. So then I looked into ordering, but see how it makes it look nice and finished? And I think these beads, along with some small red beads or yellow, I think that they will be right smart. But anyway, I got the silver paint. I put it on a little surface, the silver paint, and then I rub this in it, let it dry, and it gives it a nice finished look. So I just thought I would bring those down. But I am the queen of junk mail, and I feel like it's fun, keeps my hands busy, and that way I'm not inclined to snack. And it's relaxing and it's mindless. I just thought I'd show you. I brought these in from outside, and they're getting a little bruised. Geraniums do not like to be bruised, but that is a smell. I can't tell you how wonderful. That lovely fragrance, not a smell, a fragrance. So they're lovely. All right. I'll show you the flower quilt progress in just a minute. I've got some really cute things to do for my grandsons. And oops, I finally found, I had lost my daughter-in-law's swirly Christmas tree, and it's missing a couple little pieces of purple fabric, so I'll get that repaired. It would have been nice to have it done to hand it to her, but anyway, I've got a book to read, new book for the grandkids. We love Dr. Zeus. Here are two little t-shirts, and I got the printable, inkjet printable transfers. So I'm going to take a picture with each of them, print it on the transfers, iron it to the t-shirt, and then I'm going to let them with puffy paints, let them decorate, make a frame around the pictures. And then every few weeks, I read them a book. I make a video like a live stream, and I read them a book and talk to them a little. I'm going to let them I think their favorite book, one of their favorites. And I think we're going to read One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. And they have memorized this. So I'm going to let them make a live stream with me that then I can send to them, and they can watch themselves reading the book with Nana. So I thought that would be cute. So they're only going to be here. They're coming sometime tomorrow evening, and they'll be leaving here first thing Wednesday morning to go to my daughter's. So it's just a little brief snippet of time. All right. So this is for, I don't know if there's much, there's a little bit more that I've done, but not a ton more. But this is my dahlia flower that I have been working on. And then don't forget, Thursday night, we've been doing our triptych. And right now, it's kind of a similar process as this. So I will actually do a little bit for you in just a minute. But I want to tell you about our Bargello class. If you're planning on taking it, I'm going to have a sign-up sheet. It's absolutely free. There's no obligation. If you you can't make it, that's okay. And if you want to come and live chat, because we're all going to be able to live chat. So instead of typing, you can talk and with each other. It's going to be like a party, 2-hour party from 3 to 5 p.m. July 10th through July 14th. We voted on what time was best. I'm sad a little because Robin has an obligation with a daughter, some medical needs that she does every day at 4. but we're going to make sure that we record this, whether we do it Zoom, Jitsi, or what. And I might even try our own little chat interface in our group's IO. I don't know how long that is open for, but that might work perfectly. So, but we have a Jitsi. We also have in our group a chat feature, which we haven't really explored. So there's different ones. Most of them allow 40 to 100 people. I'm not worried about having not enough space for people. The reason I'm going to have a sign up is because I'm going to need your email address so I can send you an invitation. That's how you get into a chat site. But we're going to, next weekend, Mark and I are going to do a dry run where we're going to test everything and get the date and the thing set up so I can send you an email that says, click on this link at 3 p.m. Monday, July 10th. All right. Now, a couple little things I've been wanting you to know. I watch one of the things, because I've been going back, it's been 15 years since I taught Bargello. So I've been going back, watching videos, taking notes, deciding what things, some things work better than others. I saw the most interesting thing because there's this one video I watched and he sews, put two of the strips together, you sew down. Then when you do the other one, when you add a third one, you sew up. And that's because when you have your presser feet, they move the bottom fabric along. Well, the top is a separate piece, and sometimes they can kind of pull apart like that. And so that's why he sews one strip from the top down, the next strip from the bottom up. The problem with that is if you've ever cut strips of width of fabric, they're never the same length. They vary between 42 and 46 inches. So that can be tricky. Then I saw someone who used a walking foot on her sewing machine. Now, if you have one of those fancy Berninas, you don't even need a walking foot. So I might use my walking foot. I'm going to make the quilt thoroughly before we do it so I can think of other things that worked well for me. We're going to nestle the seams. Oh, also, Jody mentioned this. If you want to come join the class and you're not up to making a quilt, come join the class. Bring some knitting, crocheting. Marcia, we want you there. Bring your crocheting. Just sit and watch and eat popcorn. We just want you there. We want you to be able to chat. The only thing that I ask of people who are not actually doing the Bargello, while I'm giving instructions, be real quiet. And because I want to be able to give clear, concise instructions so that I don't have to repeat myself multiple times. So then we can chat and enjoy while we're just mindlessly sewing. And so anyway, oh, good for him. Oh, that's wonderful. No. Oh, we love Terry. Please tell him we said hi. Gosh, what a dear heart. Okay. So it is really important, but I'm thinking that with a walking foot, if you have one, it might eliminate the need. Now, but let me tell you, it's good you brought that up, Melanie, because if in doubt, sew one strip from the top down, the second one from the bottom up. What you do, match the top, then pin down the length, because that'll also keep you from accidentally stretching it as you run through the machine, but pin it all the way down and let the bottom edges do what they want. You don't have to worry about matching the bottom up. I would lay them out to pin them so you're not stretching anything. The last thing you want to do is sew a row that acts like a rubber band. You let it go and it pulls up. You want this thing to lay flat and easy and not fight you any part of the way. The woman who did use the walking foot, she said, okay, if you get any curve at all, then take it to the ironing board, mist it, and ask it nicely to lay flat and to not curve. So anyway, so we'll work on all that. Okay. Yeah. In fact, I think most people say the most 8 glasses of water a day. But you know, if you're eating watermelon, subtract some water. You know, we get water from different sources, not just the water we drink. Okay. So what I want you to do if you're going to work on the Bargello with us is get your fabric before you cut out your 2.5-inch strips, starch it. You don't have to, but I recommend it. It just helps to keep things from stretching and moving and canting and oh, that's wonderful. Yes, you can definitely do that. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. So, oh yeah, there's nothing. Oh, Svetlana's here? Yay. Hi, sweetheart. You don't know. You might have heard us. But yesterday when Russia was having its little problem, we were all like, go Ukraine, go. And I'm going to be careful how I say this, but you know what? I think something was the beginning of the end, and I think that was a bridge too far, and I think that somebody has done themselves in by picking on a free country, and now chickens are coming home to roost. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so another thing I think would be helpful. Let me find them. These, you can do it several different ways. I want to make it easy for you. I have these round stickers that I got I was going to do a yard sale. What I'm going to do is sit in the evening and I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 12 numerous times. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when we make those tubes, and if you don't know, don't worry, we're going to guide you through every step. I just saw a cobweb, but we're going to make those tubes. And to place the strips out, I'm going to put a sticker on them so I don't get anything confused. I know exactly when I lay it out and I know I've got it right, pop a sticker on it. It'll tell me where to open up the tube. It'll tell me exactly how to sew it. So, and which number it is. Let's say you dropped them all on the floor. No problem. You've already got a sticker. Now, let's say you don't have little stickers. Let's say you are thinking, oh, gee, I don't want to go out and buy stickers. Do you have masking tape? Then do the same. What you can do is get your masking tape and like your Sharpie marker and just write some numbers, take it off, hang it, or put it on a piece of wax paper, and then write some more. You can even go ahead and cut them into squares, lay them on wax paper or aluminum foil, something they'll peel off of easily, parchment paper, but you can use this. You can actually take a white piece of paper, write the numbers all the way down, cut out little pieces, and either pin them to the fabric or tape them. Like get some clear tape, tape them on. Just a way to make things easy. But I thought I'd tell you now so you can kind of be thinking about it and have your procedure ready. Whatever way you want to do, you'll have it ready. What I want to do is that Monday, the first day of class, I want to hit the ground running and by being able to start fast and easy, then we're able to just sew and chitter chat, party. It's going to be a class/party. Okay. And you can have whatever adult beverage you wish or not. I do better with lemonade. Thank you. Plain lemonade. And I'm going to have chocolate here though, because they have done studies at the Quilt Institute that say chocolate improves your piecing abilities. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Now, yeah, so just have some snacks so that you're comfortable and you're set up. All right. Now, I need to get, I'm going to, the day of the first class, I'm going to give you a free pattern. And I need your email before the class starts. And like I said, you can work on anything you want. It's just going to be fun to get together. Now, if you need any information and you're not on our web group, Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. Now, this is my email. It's where you can get in touch with me to ask for free patterns, to ask advice, to say, hey, put me in the group's IO with you. I want to join your group, all of that. It's good. In fact, we have a new member as of yesterday, Rosie. So I'm hoping we'll see her at some point too. All right. So I think I gave you the little hints. I'm going to have another page of good hints, but that's just some early hints to get you ready. Now for the exciting part. I ordered my fabric from Marshall Dry Goods. I was blown away with how wonderful these fabrics are. So they're right over here. Let me grab them. Okay. On fabrics. And I'm not showing you the pattern. The reason is it's a free pattern out on the website. And I hate it when people work ahead. It's when I go to classes and they've been given the pattern early and they've started it because they want to show off. It irritates me because while I'm following the rules and doing it the way the teacher wanted, and then they keep interrupting the class to ask questions for part that they're way down the line. I think that's rude. So I'm not going to tell you the pattern name. But so here is my Marshall's dry good order. And I'm so impressed. Now these are some fabrics I'm auditioning, but here is what I actually got from Marshall's. And I'm so happy. Everything was $4.99 to $6.99. I found they have some white fabric I can get for $3 a yard to do my indigo dyeing, which gets me so excited. All right. Here is my focus fabric because this will be the first. Let me make sure I've got plenty of light here. This will be the absolute first Bargello that I've ever done that I'm going to have a border. And this is the border. I just looked through their fabrics until I saw something that made me excited. This made me excited. Now, the teal in it, it's got a good royal blue, but it's also got a tealy turquoise. It's got red, orange. So this is what I chose from Marshall. And this, let me see who made this. David Galchuk Art Licensing for QT Fabrics. So QT Fabrics, but this, I wish you could feel it. The hand is beautiful. The hand meaning the smoothness, it's luscious. It's absolutely luscious. I got 2 yards of that. Then to go with this, let me move these and add them one at a time so you can see. Now, when you pick out your focus fabric, whoops, let me tilt this down. When you pick out your focus fabric, let me try to, whoops, okay. When you pick out your focus fabric, it's easy to want to look at the selvage And if they have the selvage dots of the dye color, which I don't see on here, but it's so easy to want to just pick out the colors from the selvage dye dots. Do not do that. Do not do that. If you only pick out the exact colors that are in this, your quilt will end up looking flat. I have seen it. Jenny Beyer taught me this, and it's so true. She made 3 quilts, and she said, which one do you prefer? The overwhelming majority of the class preferred the quilt where they took a shade lighter and a shade darker than the actual colors that were in the quilt. So, good job, Lisa. The dots will get you in trouble. I mean, you got. Now, here is this fabric is under the Marshall Dry Goods name. Look at this. Under Marshall Dry Goods. And it's gorgeous. It's smooth. The color is intense and beautiful. So here is one of the first colors, and this was to play off the turquoisey in there. Then I wanted a nice deep blue for the royal parts. Okay, so let me lay these as I keep. So I got that. Okay. And I like getting getting the blenders because they give a little bit of everything. All right. Now, let me do this. Those are the 2 real matchy plus a darker orange. Let me come back out. I was trying to get up close, and then a light yellow orange, because if you look at the flames around her head, there are 2 distinct kinds of orange. Now, she's got pink in here, she's got red, she's got black. What I wanted to do to make a Bargello pop and to make the pattern stand out, you need a dark and you need a very light. And I guessed by the photographs, this lightest color in the focus fabric, and I think I did a good job of picking that. So here is a dark and a light. That will make the Bargello pattern very easy to follow. Now, actually there is a little bit of yellow. I didn't think there was actually yellow, but I wanted to add a yellow because I just think it really brightens this up. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get all the fabric to show. Okay. So I wanted to add a yellow to have a nice fresh pop of color. Okay. Then going back to that turquoise again, I got a lighter shade. Okay. Both a light and a dark of that tealy turquoise. And then again, for a nice, fresh pop of color, I put the green in. Now, I don't think there's any green, but to me, it was close enough and it just gave a little oomph. Now, this would leave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not sure. I might add some of this focus fabric in the strips we cut for the Bargello, but I knew I would have to fill in this range. Okay. So, pulling this up. Okay. So here, move this a little closer. To this, I want to add a red. I'm thinking it'll work. We'll see when I cut the fabrics. Then I noticed that this dark blue almost has a touch of purple in it. So I pulled out some purples to try to see which one looked better. And I honestly think this one, just a good deep purple. Okay. So this, now let me bring the camera back up a little bit. And, oops, I'm thinking this would do it. Now, if I want to, I could add, there's little spots of pink in the sun goddess's face. So I could then, what did I do with that? I brought some pink. Oh, I didn't bring it over yet. I could either go in, I might choose to go in with a very light blue, or I could come in with a very light pink. I'm thinking I would rather have a light blue and maybe something along this tone. So you could, that is a good idea because it does kind of give that look. Oh, that I will definitely keep that in mind too. I was looking to see if I have any of that. It's upstairs, but I think, I've got some good choices to choose from. I'm thinking I don't like the pink. I don't think that works. So, and now I think this purple's a little dark. It just reads as dark rather than a nice strong purple. All right. So now you see, yep. Okay. And then I think I am going to try some of that brown that, let me show you. Do you see what she was seeing? Melanie has great eyes and a great eye for color. So she's seeing that. That might be wonderful because it helps flesh out the oranges. And this around the head is red and black, but it reads brown. So I think I was so impressed with this fabric. Between $4.99, $6.99 a yard, I was so impressed. So anyway, I wanted to show y'all that. And I'm going to, soon as my company leaves, that's going to be the first thing I do because it's important for me to work it all through. Give it a good shot, work it through so that when we sit down and sew, you know that I've worked out all the kinks and have the best plan, and we can relax. Even I can relax in teaching it. All right, so I think it is time to do show and tell, and I've got the video from my yard, my garden. I've got some new pictures from Jody and new pictures from Robin and I think BB. So let's do show and tell. Then when we come back, I'll make a couple petals of this flower. Let me tell you, especially having to do so much work with cleaning the house. Oh, also, I've got an interesting project to start once we've gotten the bloom done. What can you do with a part of a hoop? What can you do with an old bag of mixed color yarn, a hot glue gun, and a very large needle? I'll talk to you about this after we do show and tell, because I saw it in some places and was enamored. And Polly Holly might have a good clue what I'm thinking of doing with all that. So now let me turn off my lights. Let's do show and tell. But I have so much fun looking for fun new projects to do with y'all. So, and it's summer. It's summer fun time. And that's what we do. So I wrote Marshall Dry Goods a really, really nice thank you note for that order. What you're hearing, I have these antique bobbins. Every once in a while, I knock them over. But I glue pin cushions to the antique bobbins, which I like because there's so much clutter at table level. Those standing up give me a little more room, but you tend to knock them over. All right, so let me bring the camera in place. Love this computer stand. Love being able to, the arm that Mark has made for my, that he has incorporated into my stand. And now, let me see. Oh, I want to show you this site, and I will click it. And this is not the pattern that we're going to use, but I wanted to show you. Let me come back to y'all. Well, hold on a second. This gentleman has a wonderful, he has a free pattern, but it's a big one. Let's try mine first, and then you can go ahead. But let me see. He has a YouTube video to show you how to do this. I'm probably making you ill. I'm going to give you the shortcut to this, and it is so neat to watch him do this. And I think his wife is the one filming it, and it's wonderful. And the way he does it and the way he shows, very good tips. He's the one. Oh, here we go. So I don't know if I can actually show this video, but that's where you will go. So now let me copy this. Oops. All right. And then let me come back to y'all and give you this site. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's the site for that gentleman. And just look for the quilting part. It's really great. Okay. Now let's go to our photos. Whoops. Here we go. All righty, right. Alberta. Yep. We showed Alberta's wonderful. I said we weren't going to look at it anymore, but it's so tempting. And I love her quilt for her granddaughter's graduation. And I love that pie. Yum. Okay, let's see who is next. So don't forget, use that email address in the chat to send me pictures of your work. We love seeing what you're doing. This is Miss Betty's. I think she took a class, and I want to get together with her and see how she did those leaves. They're wonderful. Terrific. Right? Let me see. Miss BB, I think, no, maybe, you know what? I thought she did send me some. I'm going to have to go check because I thought she did. I love this. Pay attention to this because we're going to do this, a stained glass project this summer. Love it. Love it. Okay. Now, let's see. Brenda. I'm hoping Brenda got I cut her out of the group so that I could re-invite her because she was having trouble getting on the site. So I've sent her 2 re-invite invitations, and I hope she's gotten them. I'm worried that it might be considered spam by her email server, but look at that elephant behind her. But we love Miss Brenda's work, and we like to see more. Isn't that beautiful? Love, love, love it. And this, oh my gosh, she's doing a similar type of fused picture. Look at the picture she's doing, and she's doing a wonderful job of it. It's so pretty. Love it, Miss Brenda. So, Miss Brenda, if you see this and you haven't received those, I'll keep trying, hon. And what I'll do in the next one also is to send her the link that she can go straight in and request, because I think that would be nice. All right, now let's see. I guess we'll go ahead and do mine. I hate not to go in order. Hold on. I clicked mine so much. I went too far. All right, here we go. Now, I wanted to show y'all, Mark and I are fascinated with this train driver from Norway. And through that, we got fascinated with this train station in Finse, 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 Norway. This area, this little town, this little hamlet, it's not even a town, it's like 30 some people. And that's at the height of the season for the workers who, there's an inn, there's a train station, there are some rental houses. And this is so far north in Norway that they have the midnight sun. And this very photo is what it looks like there at midnight. And it's for 5 days in June. And then in November or December, they have the opposite, where they have it's always dark. So that's how far north they are. And I just thought I'd show y'all that too. All right. Oh, and that little area can only be reached by train. So they have a train that comes in, takes away the garbage. They have a train that brings all the food in. And because otherwise they have nothing. No roads lead there. This is my daughter and her son. It was his first day off from school, and they're celebrating. And I thought that was such a cute picture. And these are some flowers that I gave her. One's blooming here. This is a purple coneflower, and this is Cosmos. And these are Monardas, and they're doing really beautifully for her. So I've got to hurry up and get mine in their permanent ground. These are dollar store garden. Whoops. No, I didn't mean to do that. These are garden store. Oh, how did I miss it? Garden store garden decorations. And what I do, this is trying to do a slideshow. No, do not do a slideshow. I can handle that. Thank you. And so I wanted to go back and show you. Let me see. What I do when they get all rusty because they're so cheap is I take my acrylic metallic paints and I paint them. So Becky and I took some time to paint those, and that was fun. Okay. And then let's see what it does next. There's a close-up of some of them. This is our side yard. Whoops. You know what? I think this is the video instead of the photos. Hold on just a second. It was the video. So I'm going to show you some things first. This is the hyper tufa that we made, and it's made with cement and peat moss and what's that stuff? It's a volcanic rock that they heat, and it's perlite. And I wanted to show you what the leaves look like when we were making the forms. See, I've got the bowl here, and then I'll get ready and take the leaf place it in the bowl, then make the hypertooth on top. Next time, what I'm going to do is make the bottom of the bowl and then put the polonia leaf on the top. So from the inside that you see, it'll be all decorated. I just think that polonia leaf made such a wonderful impression. All right, let's see what else. My granddaughter went with her best buds to Myrtle Beach for celebrating graduating from high school, and they had a blast. There they are in the Ripley's aquarium. That is so cute. Then my daughter took Evan, her son, my grandson, to Salem Lake, and they rented kayaks. And it's very inexpensive, and they had a great time. That's super. Then my daughter, Becky, the one with the grandson there, she loves to do paint by number canvas art. And there it is. It's beautiful. Okay. Then this is tilted a little bit funny. Let me see if I can make it go one. There we go. Becky took Evan out for his 16th birthday with Sister Charlie, and they went out to dinner. And then she made him a cake, and he loves strawberry, so it's a strawberry cream cake. And he's the nicest young man. Look at that cake, looks delicious, doesn't it? Then Becky went out on her own early in the morning and did a kayak run. I think that's beautiful. What a way to start a day. Then Christopher, this is the t-shirt I gave him. My son gave him for his birthday, and he wore it on one of his live drum performances, and they enjoyed it. Whoops. And that Polonia plant, it's a weed here, but in Japan, they really prize it for its fast growth. And how I get those huge leaves is it was a volunteer, and I was so happy when I saw I had one on the property. And we cut it back to the ground every fall. And when it sends out new growth in the next season, it makes huge leaves. And I learned this from watching a victory garden one time years ago. Then this is my daughter's lettuce bed. This is iceberg lettuce, and she's on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Look how beautifully it's grown. Luckily, we all on the East Coast, we had a cool spring. Here are her volunteers, Nikishina, flowering tobacco, and pinks, or no, that might be penstemon, and then some daylilies. She's got a beautiful garden area right there. And she grew, these are the pink salvias, and she gave a coral, and she gave me some of mine are getting ready to bloom. Isn't that pretty? And here she is with one head of iceberg lettuce. Is that unbelievable? I bet you it's delicious too. Much better than store-bought. Look how green it is. Isn't that wonderful? So I bet you it is delicious. All right, so those are those pictures. And then I did a real quick, hopefully quick garden video. And let me pick this. Let me turn the volume up, because you'll hear the volume at the end. This is our hill. Mark cleaned all that out for me and made a fenced-in area for my garden. Oh, one of my chickens is in the picture. I didn't even realize. This is the bed Becky helped me plant last week. Baby plants. Look at the deer. That's the mama deer. She brought her there. That is a yearling buck. There he is with his nice furry antlers. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This particular day, there were 6 altogether. This is that pink salvia. It's getting ready to bloom. This is my red camellia. Here are my seedlings that I planted back in February. Here's some plants that I have planted. My pup's looking out the door. Here's some more things. These are some plants I got from my daughter, and they're almost ready to bloom. And then back to this. I love my gardenias. I'm hoping more and more will start to come out as the new growth happens. This is my front flower bed, but you see this right here? I have deer that have been really eating the garden, and that's a Indian hawthorn. They have decimated it. So some of this needs to be trimmed back, but this is my Harry Lauder walking stick. This is a beautiful red camellia, and this is our Japanese maple. And here I have a weeping cherry that we planted when we moved here 14 years ago. It's doing really well. Note to self, don't turn the camera that way. The beech trimming, some American beautyberry that needs to be trimmed way back, and this barberry has gotten a little out of control. And then there are a few weeds. Now there's a fig tree. Let's see if I can zoom in. That's got quite a few figs on it. And if I can beat the squirrels and the birds, the crows to it, there's a double foul viburnum. That's just a wee too big. Here's the other side of the house. Let's see what else I can find. Here is my new hibiscus. It's looking white on the camera, but it's a definite red. So pretty. And here is a lantana that I've planted. But look what the slugs have done to my petunias. Here's a petunia up there doing right well. We've got our blue sky back now that the smoke isn't as big a problem. Here is a little blue hydrangea trying to bloom here. Today I came out and worked in the garden, and the clematis is growing over onto this. It's growing onto this. It's just getting everywhere. Here's a plant I planted. Here's the last of my planting supplies that I need to clean up some point. I told you I'd show you the good and the bad. Here are some tomatoes doing very well, especially since the front plants are being eaten by the deer. So anything that I want to garden, that I want to keep, I better plant back here. So this is the sunroom, and I've got a hibiscus. I've got different tomatoes. This is a dahlia my daughter gave me for my birthday. Then a blue fescue, another lantana. Here are some pinks, dianthus that are trying to come back. New Guinea impatient. Then right there are vincas, the annual kind that will love the heat. We have had a week full of a lot of rain. So even though it was good in a way for the plants, they're looking a little beaten up. There's a wave petunia. This is a tuberous begonia. That is a maple pot that a friend painted for me, and it's got a hosta in it. Here are the million bells, the heuchera, which is kind of somewhere like in the family of petunias. Then let me zoom in. That hanging pot is an angel wing begonia, something like that. And then vistas, and I have more vincas and begonias and hostas and impatiens. There's a dragon wing begonia right there. Lots of impatiens and begonias because back here is the shade. Here is a fuchsia that I repotted, and I'm hoping it'll come back. Then another wave petunia right there. Then this one is the million bells and some bronze leaf begonia, some caladiums, and oh gosh, there is a sweet potato vine and hostas. Hostas I have been just multiplying lately, and the deer love to eat them, but back here is pretty safe. But more begonias, some sweet William, and some dianthus or pinks. That sweet Williams, which I think they're biennial, so this is the year they're not going to do a whole lot. And then I have a shelf here. I have shelves with impatiens and begonias. 2 of my house plants are out here for the summer. So this is, on the table, yeah, they're just impatiens. Caladium are in this pot over here, and I went back to get more caladium. They were all sold out. I'm sad. I don't have that many. All right. Now I'm going to walk over here to my bird feeder bed that my daughter Becky, helped me plant. This is the pot I grew spinach in, but I picked them all today to put into a breakfast bake for when my son comes. All right, here is the bird feeder bed. My squirrels. We have so many squirrels and chipmunks now, they don't really even run to try to hide. But here is, I need to fill up the bird bath here. But we planted begonia, impatiens, and 3 caladiums in this bed. And that bird feeder is very, very busy. Let me see if you can see back here. I've got a couple more of the blue hydrangeas blooming back there. And I love that variegated liriope. I might have to move it out here. Okay. So these are the 2 baskets from this side. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to plant in that right now, but I'm going to try to think of something. Sure do like that hibiscus. This is my swing, and I made a new cover for it, but we're having a little problem stretching it the rest of the way over the frame, so I might have made it a wee bit too short. Our 2 more pots with wave petunias, more hostas. Now this is a double gardenia, and it is amazing. So it's just starting to begin to set up buds. This is a balloon flower that I'm hoping looks like it's going to put out a lot of blooms this year. More hostas, more sweet potato vines. And this bed we just need to neaten this up, get out some of the weeds. Vines started taking over. It's a little ligustrum I've got to trim way back. There is a holly I need to get out of here, but there are some nice hostas, a blue-green, giant yellow-green leafed one. Like here, look at that one. That's a nice one. These are obedient plants that my daughter gave me. Then this is the side yard that Mark spent a good amount of time clearing out. It had gotten overgrown. It was so overgrown. Look at the white rose of Sharon. Let me see if I can zoom in on one of these blooms. There's one. There are two up there. It's really nice. The former owner had all of this was white and purple. Here is Verbena bonariensis, which Mark hates because it looks so weedy. I love because it's so generous and just trying to bloom wherever. Then back here we have oak leaf hydrangea, which are just in their glory. I had some volunteer crepe myrtles here that we had to do some definite trimming if I was to have my garden. And here is my garden. Mark fenced it in with deer fencing. And luckily it's within a backyard structure, so hopefully no deer will get in here. And I've just planted squash, zucchini, tomatoes, even some okra because it was given to me, some zinnia seeds, some lima beans, and I'm getting ready to put in some string beans. I got some cantaloupe. So I'm hoping this area will give me a few vegetables. And then again, I wanted to show you the Verbena bonariensis. I love it. I just love it. Comes back every year all by itself. All right, so I'm going to now plant my string beans and then go in for the night. But here is today's first garden tour. Oh, that's the tree we had cut down a few years ago. It was probably 70 feet tall, and it was very expensive because it's in an awkward location. How can you get to it? And so that's what gave me, it had heart disease, and a big, huge branch came down and took down our power lines. Oh, here is the chicken coop. I forgot to show you that. And so that tree was very expensive to take down, like $9,000. But it gave me now this sunlight, and I said, I'm going to do a vegetable garden. All right, I'll turn this off and get those beans planted. All right, so there, thank you. I didn't think it was actually going to be that long, but now you've had the first garden view, and as we continue to do more in it, I'll make another one later in the season. Okay, so now I have to go back out here. And Debbie Hodges, I need to get some new ones from Debbie. I know everybody's been busy, so no stress, but I loved seeing her quilt. Let's see who else. Okay, Dolores. Oh, gotta see this one again. She used actual alpaca fibers in this. She used filene, that thread that you can use for thread painting that you can then brush with a stiff brush and it gets furry. Isn't that gorgeous? I hope she's feeling better. She had a case of shingles recently, but hopefully she's feeling better. Then let's see, Miss Jody. We've got some brand new photos from Miss Jody. Here is a Bargello she made some years ago for her grandson, I believe. And I love that. That is so pretty. Then look at these courthouse step blocks. Aren't they great? I love her choice of colors. She really has an eye for traditional colors, even though she does a lot of art quilts too. And here are her 9-patch. These are the small blocks where she's making so many 9-patch blocks. Can't wait to see that quilt come together. Beautiful work. It's always nice. You know Jody's feeling better when she can get in her studio and turn out some more great quilts. I'll show you Lisa's blocks one more time. And here's one. There is one. There she is camping while sewing. Love that. Then this, it was the smoke from the wildfires. Her son took the moon picture in it. Sorry, my finger twitched. Here's some more of her wonderful blocks of many colors. I love it. Very happy blocks. Okay, now let's see. I'm trying to look around the camera to see. Oh, yeah, got Maria's camping. Love anything to do with camping. Isn't that the cutest pillow? I love that. Last I heard, she was thread painting it. All right, now let's see. Melanie, we've got some new ones from Melanie. Love these. Okay, so you'll see one or two new blocks that she's been doing. Beautiful work. I love her choices of fabrics, colors. Wonderful. And when these are all put together, I predict this quilt is going to sparkle. And this is Willow after a long day of birthday celebration. And here is Melanie's last quilt that she had. It's back from being quilted, now on the bed. It's absolutely lovely. And here is another new block. Look at these. Just wonderful colors. This is her celebration for Willow's first birthday. Let's party. I love it. Look at her. She knows it's her special day. And she even made her own birthday treat. Isn't that cute? And here's a new block. I think I've finished with those. Oh, and I noticed I got an email where she has deleted some of her old photos. Thank you, Miss Melanie. We'd love for you to put your new ones in. And then once they've been there about a year, it's probably good to go ahead and delete them off, just because we only have a certain amount of space. And just show you just a couple of these. This is from Miss Melton's wonderful Etsy shop. So these are terrific. And she had made her first sale. We were so tickled for her. So we're hoping that she will make many more sales. And then I'll show this one of Miss So Euphoria. Love Nancy Lynn's work. I love it. I love all the embellishment, the deep, rich colors that she puts into her quilt. Old Polly had some new ones from last week. Now, and don't let me forget, I've got some new ones from Rosie. And who else? Yeah, we just talked about her family, so I've got to. Okay, so this is what Miss Polly's working on in their English paper piecing. Beautiful work. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? It's like a kaleidoscope. Then she did some weaving, some mug rugs. I love this. I tell you what, Miss Polly doesn't sit still. And this is going to be a 5-foot table runner, something like that for her dining room table. Just beautiful. Okay. Now, Robin, that's who I want to make sure we don't miss. All right. Oh, in fact, look who's next, Miss Robin. And I love look at these costumes, look at the decorations. She made all of it. Aren't they great? That is fun. And she has a big, wonderful, amazing family. And I love this. They have 4 kids, and they're just wonderful. I'm trying to move the picture down. Hold on. Well, there we go. And I love how they included a son-in-law who passed a few years ago. But isn't this wonderful? I love it. So thank you, Miss Robin, and please stay safe from that fire smoke. Then we've got some pictures from Miss Rosie. Miss Rosie, who just joined our group. This is a picture from her dock, and they're up in Canada as well. And look at that. That's from her dock. Isn't that beautiful? The wonderful sunflower, some wonderful carrots, multicolors, and great, wonderful tomatoes of all colors. And so Miss Rosie, for the winter, they go to Portugal. How nice is that? So leave the cold behind, go to Portugal, and then come back to that beautiful lake house for summer. Not bad. Not a bad job if you can get it. Okay, now let me see. I think that's about all. Just one more picture just to show you some of SJ's gorgeous cross-stitching work. I can tell you right now, I couldn't do it. Not one bit could I do this. So I admire it and love looking at it. And her beautiful 8-year-old pup. I love that. Okay, so this has been a wonderful show and tell. And now we'll come back and we've got two things to do. One of them is to do a flower, work some more on our flower piecing, fusible piecing. The other is to see what I'm going to do with that embroidery hoop and the hot glue and all of that. So let me see if I can show you just a couple of things, and we'll actually look more into it next week, but I like to show you the ideas, and in that way, if you want to gather up some supplies, you can do that before we actually start work on it. So I'm getting the hot glue gun warmed up. Now, the reason I'm using a hot glue gun is because the directions I saw on this where you either buy a little bit of it's not expensive, too bad, but it's one more thing you'd buy. But I have plenty of these, and they would cut grooves in these so your string, when you place it, stays in the groove. I was thinking, well, what could you do if you didn't want to permanently make this particular tool? What could you do? And I thought, well, you could tape the string in place, but the string has to stay in place. Now I'm going to use, let me see. What do I want to use? Okay, I'll use this one. Okay. Hopefully my glue gun will heat up quickly. And then, do you have any of these? Take care, sweetheart. Do you have any of these very large needles? You could have a needle that is a plastic needle with a large eye, or one of these. These are trapunto needles, but any large needle. Even this, as long as it's got a large hole in it, okay? Now, I'm going to take this, and what I'm not sure of, so I'm just going to show you a little bit so you might want to gather, but what I'm not sure of is, do I make a bunch of separate string placement, or can I keep winding it as I go around? So here we go. I hot glued this in place, and then I'm going to quickly tie this also. Okay. And I'm going to give it a good solid knot because I'm not sure how well it hangs on. So see, that's hot glued now in place. Then I'm going to come down here right below. So you know, got to make sure, do your best to make sure it's right opposite, because then I'll put some hot glue on that one. Now, I don't know. We'll see how the hot glue goes. But, okay. Now, what I'm wondering, do I cut this or do I keep going around? I think I'm going to keep going around. All right. So I am going to come back here, put a little hot glue to keep that right there. Does anybody have any idea what I'm working on besides making hot glue spider webs? Let me get more string out of this. Okay, so now I'm going to come down. Well, maybe, no, I'll just do this. What I'm trying to decide is if I have to, okay. It might be better to go ahead and cut the string. All right, hold on. Because what I don't want, this is actually going to be a circular weaving loom. Cool, huh? All right, so now I'm going to come over here and put the next one. And I was thinking, trying to keep them about a 1/2 inch apart. All right. So this one should go right across 1/2 inch down here. All right. Then right back up, get glued again. That way I don't have to keep making lots of knots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going around and around, making these cross pieces. Then when I'm all done, I'll take and tie the center together like this. So I'm going to go around every 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, all the way around doing these loops. Okay. It's kind of like a big version of the Dorset button that I've showed you before. So, and then I've got all these rainbow colors that we're going to actually do some yarn weaving. So this, oh no, I lost the chat again. Oh no, how did I lose the chat? So this is going to take a while to do. So let me unplug my glue gun. But I just thought, if this at all appeals to you, because once this is tied in the center, then you'll just go in and out with your large needle or plastic tapestry needle with whatever color yarn, and we're just going to start weaving. And you weave in a circle, and you can make all different kinds of designs. It depends on where you start and stop with different colors. And so we're just going to find our way around and see how this is done. So that way, if you want to try it, if you're like me, you've got embroidery hoops laying around. And I thought the hot glue gun, because you can peel the hot glue off and still use it if you want to do some embroidery. So, but this keeps it taut and it keeps it in place by using the hot glue gun. So I will put this over to the side. Next Sunday, we will check this out again. Oh, and while I just saw this, if you weren't here last week, I talked about taking a picture of each block of our sampler and then with my word editing program, making each picture block the exact same size, putting them together on the Word document, and then printing them onto cardstock, and then putting a little round loop of tape so that you can do a layout without having to actually get on the floor or have a big design wall. You can do it right there and end up designing the best layout for your sampler quilt. Because that's kind of what this is. It's like all different kinds of blocks, which is a lot of fun. Oh, this came out. Let me put that back. All right. So since I don't have chat, I'm going to just show you this again and then say goodbye because it gets really confusing for me when I can't see you. So luckily, the chat I can't see comes back when I watch it on replay. So I'll make sure to see what you say. Any questions or comments, leave them on that on the chat, and I'll shoot you an email if I can or find a way to answer them back. Boy, that glue gun just got little wisps of glue everywhere. So let's real quick take a look at this. Okay. So here I've just got an older piece. In fact, it was a piece of fabric that I had drawn something on. I took a picture that I liked and I posterized it, but somehow I've forgotten at this moment exactly how I got it less busy and used this as a pattern, took a marker and outlined every different shade so that then I would have, and then put this on top with a light box and drew them in so I knew exactly where every block needed to be placed. And then I take like this. I forgot where I put this. This went, I think, down here or something. But showing you how to take the different light, medium, and dark on this, I actually, where is, it must be upstairs. I have a page where it's like this, but it's in black and white. And this is the lightest down to the very darkest. And they're numbered 1 through 6. And so when I look at my master and it has a 4, I know exactly what tone of that. If it has a 5 or 6, or if it has a 1, I know what to put. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through using Steam a Seam, or you can use your favorite fusible, and I draw the patterns on here. In fact, that's what I'm missing. I'm missing my big piece of fusible. Let me see. And I like working on this at night in my recliner. I can put my feet up. And so I use this wonderful Clover mini iron. And I was very lucky to buy this from a retreat. Someone's husband who's a wonderful woodworker, made that. And I was hoping that other paper would be in here, but I don't see it. So I must have left it upstairs. But then I can just pull out what fabrics I need and where. I love the striated fabric. I love ombre fabric because it really helps you get some subtle variations in these petal colors. Some of this is a little bit striated, and if I'm careful, I look at this, I can copy and put the pattern exactly where I need it. So, all right, so that's what I do. I build it, I take, and whatever the main color of the leaf is, like in this case, there was more of this lighter blue, and Then I cut out the other little pieces of fusible and then fuse them onto this and then find exactly where this goes. And, but some of these have quite a few little pieces on them, but they're not hard. If you just do it a petal at a time, it's really pretty simple. So I really enjoy it. But this way, if I keep this handy and I get one and I, can assemble it this way, add a few more of the little colors, and then this will have fusible on the back. I'll put it in place and fuse it down. So it's nice. You just break it into one little thing at a time. And I've always wanted to do stained glass work, but I would hate having all of those little glass cuts. So it's glass slivers everywhere. So to me, this is kind of a way to do stained glass without the mess. So anyway, all right. I think that gives you a pretty good idea. I have this pattern for free if you want it. And I have a picture of the original, that inspiration. I've added leaves around, so I'll use several different kinds of green for that. And then after that, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll paint the background, or maybe I'll carefully cut this out as one piece and applique it on a different background. But this is just my foundation to hold all of the petals that I'm making. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 petals are on this for right now. And I've got quite a few more to go, but I love it. I think it's going to be really pretty. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Even though I can't see you, thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for taking a moment to see what kind of things we're going to be doing, because this is the summer fun time right now. And we love lots of fun projects. And now that from Marshall Dry Goods, I can get fabric cheaply. We're going to do some dye sessions this summer. We're going to do some paper making sessions this summer. I want to weave a basket with you this summer because, like most quilters, I love all different kinds of hand arts. I want to bring down my bobbin pillow and work on that. Whew. There's so much to do and so little time to do it. So we're going to get busy this summer. Take good care. Thank you again. Do something special for yourself. You can't take care of other people unless you've taken care of yourself first. Stay cool. Stay away from the fire smoke. Stay safe. And we'll see you Thursday night, because Thursday night we're going to work some more on our triptych, which is a quilt or artwork in 3 pieces. And we're doing earth, wind, and fire. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'll see you then. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for joining me. You are the best. Bye-bye.